So this morning we are participating in a practice of de-armoring the body using breath work and gentle movement. I think just collectively right now for all of us, we're really experiencing an immense season of collective tension. Since COVID starting mid-February, mid-March, from the Black Lives Matters movements and things like that. We've also got here in the US, we have our elections coming up and things like that. So we really have a lot going on collectively right now that is contributing towards a sense of upheaval and tension. And so this morning's practice is really going to be about finding tools that we can use very practically in moments of distress, so that we are able to really bring ourselves back to a sense of equilibrium and homeostasis, and really allow for ourselves to live from a sense of engagement and a sense of responsiveness rather than being overly reactive during times and circumstances, or even just conversations with loved ones and family or colleagues where we might feel slightly threatened by differing opinions. And we know just from evolutionary psychology and neurobiology and things like that, that our brains and our bodies are really wired to hold tension and to have these habituated types of responses around threats or perceived threats. And this has really served us in terms of evolution as our species has evolved and has also prevailed. And yet we also recognize in today's society the necessity of sort of releasing those habituated responses to the stressors of life and embodying and embracing a more responsive and more thorough sense of engagement. And so these techniques are really tools that help us to take a deep breath and pause when we're beginning to feel sensations of tension or constriction within the body. And it really allows us to invite space, to invite presence and movement through our bodies so that we can then move from a place of responsiveness and I would say even discernment in our decision making, whether it's just offering a sense of compassion towards the person or group that we're engaging with at the moment, and or whether it's like making a more sense of deliberate, just action in whatever might be called for. And the really cool thing too is that this isn't really it's not only a practice that we can use whenever we're engaging with external triggering factors, but it's really a process that we can use when we're engaging with internal triggering practices too, or triggering processes also, because we have to admit that sometimes our worst enemy resides within ourselves, and it's our like negative thinking or critical thinking, or even just our tendency to worry, to fret, and to reside in anxiety when we anticipate the future, and also those moments of depression and regret that come whenever we really contemplate the past for any given moment of time. So again, these practices are great for de-armoring the body in tense, stressful situations, not only from an external collective perspective, but also from an internal perspective. We'll go ahead and get started. So as always, we're going to begin our practice by just settling into our seats. So I encourage you now to find a posture that works for you. So this practice can be done anywhere at any given time. It's important to state that. So if you're driving in your car, or if you were just having a conversation on the phone or with a colleague, or if you need to take a few moments to go to the bathroom, or just go to a place on your own, or if you just find yourself in interaction with another person, this really can be done anywhere. But for today's practice, just to sort of root the practice into our embodied experience, we're going to take time to really see it as a guided, focused meditation. So finding a seat that works for you. If you're seated on the floor, perhaps putting a cushion underneath the sits bones to elevate the hips above the knees as a way of establishing a strong foundation and base for your practice. If you are seated on a couch or a chair, I encourage you to scoot to the edge of your seat so that your feet can fall flat on the ground and you are able to have a naturally long and erect spine. So often what happens when we come into situations that we perceive as threatening or that trigger stress responses in the body is that immediately we experience a rapid heart rate. Our breath becomes constricted. We tense around our shoulders, perhaps even through the core of the belly. And so we're just going to take time to work intentionally with the breath. And then also identify some key places in the body where we tend to store those tensions and stresses, and see if we can bring just awareness and spaciousness and intentionally release through those places. So in your seat, hands either folded in the lap or placed open or down on the knees. I invite you to close your eyes. And even just the subtle action of closing our eyes can awaken a sense of ease in the body. When our eyes are open, we tend to be on high alert, constantly seeking for signs of threat or danger in our external environment. So just simply closing the eyes is really a way of indicating to the body that we're safe. That we feel a sense of trust and ease in this space. And with the eyes closed, bring your attention to the heaviness and the weight of the sits bones, resting on the cushion beneath you. The cushion supported by the floor, and the floor supported by the earth. Deepening your breath here, allow your spine to take its natural erect form. So see if you can invite breath into the spaces in the back body between each vertebrae. Extending the crown of the head a little taller with each inhale and finding ease and relaxation on the exhales, letting the shoulders just fall gently down the back, broadening through the collarbones and the shoulders, allowing for a subtle and gentle opening of the heart here. It probably goes without saying, but another natural tendency of the body when experiencing a perceived threat is to contract, to fold inward on oneself, to really protect the core of our being. We have very key organs that need protecting in the front of our body, and it's really a natural response. So let's just see if we can begin to loosen that habituated response and actively and intentionally open our hearts to the present moment and whatever may be arising within and without. Elongating through the back of the neck, allow for a slight tuck of the chin. So this comfortable, easy seat is like home base. I mentioned that this practice can be done from wherever you are at any point in time that you experience a perceived threat or stress trigger. And a key way of getting into the practice quickly is to just notice your posture at the time of the stress. And can you begin to invite ease, invite release, letting go of those places of tension, perhaps behind the eyeballs, in between the eyebrows, the base of the tongue and the jaws, releasing any tension through the chest and the heart space, through the abdominals and the low belly, the pelvic region, the buttocks, and even those subtle spaces, the spaces between our bones and our connective tissues, between our fingertips and our toes. I just invite you to do a gentle body scan here, working with the breath, and anywhere that you find tension, just begin to breathe space into those places, and see if you can breathe so deeply and expand your body so fully that you're really left with an embodied sense of spaciousness, as if you can actually feel your body getting taller, getting softer, taking up more space. Finding ease in the posture and the body is really a way of cultivating self-trust, in that we allow the natural structure of the body to maintain its hold without any efforting. So letting the muscles just relax and melt like butter around the skeletal frame of the body. Our bones, the most densest part of our body, actually do quite a good job of holding us up on their own. And often we invite unnecessary tension and physical stress to the body by trying so hard to maintain what already effortlessly is. So now that we're feeling at ease and settled into our posture, we'll go into some light breath work. So we're going to be breathing in through the nose for a count of 4, taking a slight pause at the end of the inhale before exhaling through the nose for a count of 4, pausing again at the bottom of the exhale before inhaling again to a count of 4. And we'll continue with this cyclical rhythm of breathing as a way of bringing ourselves into heart resonance. Bringing a natural, slow steadiness to the heart rate. Bringing our parasympathetic nervous system online. Take a deep inhale here for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Continue breathing in this rhythmic fashion to your own breath. Your own natural rhythms of being and ease. allow your breath now to just fall to a natural rhythm. You can let go of the practice of counting. But I invite you to keep this steady flow of breathing in and noticing the pause before exhaling, completely emptying through the body and automatically inhaling again. So keep this sort of subtle, gentle awareness around the breath, but just let it fall into the background. We're going to move into some light movement here, and the goal of this movement is really to engage the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is one of our large cervical nerves, and it runs from the base of our neck all the way down to the base of our tailbone, and it even connects to the psoas, to the front of our body. So we're just going to invite some gentle movement into this space, again as a way of inviting ease, releasing tension, and really inviting a sense of spaciousness to the contraction of the body. So you can blink your eyes open now, or just listen to my cues and leave your eyes closed, whatever works best for you. But we're going to start just with some gentle shoulder rolls. So bringing our shoulders up to the bottom of our ears and rolling our shoulders back down the back body. Bringing them forward, up and around, up to the ears, and exhaling back down the back body. We'll take one more, coming forward, inhaling shoulders up to the ears. Exhale down and back. And I will switch to the opposite. So inhaling them up and forward towards the ears and down the front. Inhaling back and up. Exhale forward and down. One last one. Back and up. Forward and down. And we'll take our right hand now and just place it on the left side of the head here, and just bring our right ear gently to our right shoulder. So not really pulling too hard with the hand here, just letting the hand serve as an extra bit of weight and sense of grounding as we stretch through the left side of the neck. You can close your eyes here and take deep breaths, breathing into the tension on the side of the neck, and even breathing as low as the pelvic bowl if possible. And we can move our hand more to the back of the head and tilt our ear towards our right underarm. So it'll be kind of this diagonal stretch through the back of the neck. Take another deep inhale, and on an exhale you can bring your head back up to center, release that right hand, and we'll do the same thing on the left side. So take our left hand and place it on the top. Let our left ear fall to our left shoulder. Let the hand just serve as a gentle grounding weight on the top of the head. Feeling the stretch through the right side of the neck. And if you feel your shoulder kind of creeping up towards your ear, see if you can let it go and remember to keep it rolled down the back of the body. taking the hand and moving it gently towards the back of the head, inviting that left ear towards the left armpit for a diagonal stretch. One more deep inhale, and on an exhale, come to center. We'll bring both hands now and clasp them behind the head. Elbows come out wide, and on an inhale, breathe in, broadening through the collarbones. Exhale, slightly tuck the chin to your chest and begin to roll forward, allowing the elbows to come into center line and fall heavy on either side of the head. Maintaining a straight spine here to receive maximum stretch through the back body, the back of the neck and along the spine. Maintaining that slow, rhythmic breathing here. Another deep breath in. And on an exhale, we can come up. Releasing the hands down to the side. And we're just going to move into some light neck circles. So let your right ear fall to your right shoulder once more, and then turn your chin to your right shoulder and scoop it down around the front body, bringing the chin over to the left, taking it up and over as if creating a circle in the air with your chin and your nose. So going first over to the right and to the left a few times. And then switching directions and going from the left over to the right. And allowing your chin to fall to your chest on an exhale. On an inhale, raise it up slowly, coming to a neutral spine, neutral neck. And go ahead and take a moment to pause here and notice the body. Notice whether you're feeling grounded through the sits bones. Feeling softness through the back body. Openness through the front body. Maintaining that slow, subtle, rhythmic breathing. We can place our left hand on our heart space and our right hand on our belly as a way of tuning in internally, making a connection with the heart and with the low belly, which is said to be the seat of our intuition. taking a moment to check in, perhaps asking ourselves how we're doing. Is there anything we might need today to move through our day with a greater sense of ease, stability, equanimity? Embracing a sincere posture of humility and surrender to the wisdom that naturally arises from within us, from within the stillness, from within the quiet. And if your eyes are closed, you can gently blink them open once more. Let your hands fall to your sides. And that is our practice. So that is a practice of using breath and gentle movement to de-armor the body when we are experiencing both external and internal triggers of stress, situations that we perceive as threatening, even something as simple as engaging a discourse with someone that feels a little bit more challenging, or perhaps experiencing some form of disappointment, or feeling like we got a ball out of left field in life. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something actually physically threatening or challenging. This is really a work that works well with subtle threats and subtle stress factors. And we know also from neurobiology and works of physical therapy and trauma-informed therapies that this does also work in traumatic situations as well. But this is really just a tool to keep in your toolkit as a way of bringing yourself back to a sense of homeostasis and emotional stability and equanimity in the midst of any situations that may feel stressful to you in the moment, or even if you perceive them as stressful a few days later, a few hours or minutes later. This is a nice practice to come back home to a felt sense of self and a regulated sense of self that allows us to live life with a sense of intentional, wise, discerning responsiveness rather than an overreactivity to life. So I'll stay on for just a few more moments in case anyone has any questions, but I'm so grateful that each of you decided to join us. And if you are practicing this de-armoring practice on your own, please drop us a comment to let us know how it went, how you experienced it, and let us know if you have any questions. All right, thanks for joining.